Was just at Trader Joe's, and it looks like this pizza was recently added to their catalog of products just a few weeks ago. This is the Detroit style pizza, which scares me because I'm from Detroit, and this pizza is not from Michigan. I don't know where they're making this, but it just says where it's made for Trader Joe's out of Monrovia, California, sold and distributed. There is no country of manufacture. The internet says it's made in Italy, but nothing on the package says it's imported. And what does Italy know about making a Detroit-style pizza? This frightens me, but my curiosity is getting the best of me. So we're going to try it and see how it compares to Motor City or Screaming Sicilian has a Detroit style, which is actually quite good. However, Trader Joe's, California, trying to be Michigan? I don't know. Now, these pizzas should, when you're getting a Detroit style pizza, I should say, they should have a tray that they're in that you keep them in when you put them in the oven if you want them to crisp up properly. So let's see if they got that part right. I mean, I do see a tray in the picture, so I'm assuming the tray is included. It is. Now, when you're running, rather cooking a pizza this thick, they do take longer than your average frozen pizza. You're looking at around 23 to 25 minutes in the oven. So if you wanted something fast, this is not it. Nor would any deep dish pizza be fast either. But if you want something that should be really tasty, if this is what it claims to be, then it should be far superior than those faster cooked pizzas. So we're getting the oven preheated to 425 as recommended in the directions. Also know that a Detroit style pizza is going to fill potentially 3 or 4 people up because it's a pound and a half of pizza. It's 24 ounces of pizza on this one. And you generally are not going to get a Detroit style pizza that is going to leave you hungry. It's just part of the territory. So for the price, I think this was $7.99. That's a good value for this amount of food. On the other hand, if it's food you don't want to eat, I guess it doesn't matter what the price is. Now, I'm sounding quite negative about this because the Trader Joe's pizzas we've had have not blown me away. In fact, some of them have been downright kind of gross. I am hoping that Trader Joe's is not disrespecting Detroit here, and I'm very concerned. Because right away, not being made in Michigan is a big red flag. All right, I think this is ready to go in the oven. I've got the pepperonis kind of distributed a little better. And then, yeah, we're gonna let it cook for those 23, 25 minutes. Don't worry, I'll be back in a flash and show you what it looks like and then give it a taste test and see if it becomes a new favorite. Is it possible that California can make a better Detroit style pizza than Detroit? Come on. Seriously? All right, let's give them a shot. Give me your best, Trader Joe's. So here's what Trader Joe's Detroit style pizza looks like fresh out of the oven. This is 23 minutes in my oven, and you see I kept it in this tray. That is really, really important. Unless, of course, you like a softer crust, but then why are you getting a pan pizza if that's what you wanted? So I am pretty skeptical if I haven't made it clear. I want to be wrong. I want to like this. It's a good value, $8 for a pound and a half of pizza. Seems like a pretty good deal. Toppings look fantastic. The way it comes out of the oven looks great, smells great. The secret is in the crust. Think about it like a brownie tray. Everybody wants an edge of the brownies, right? Well, the same is true with a Detroit style pan pizza. The cheese goes all the way to the edge of the pan and melts down the side of the pan. And when you get a corner piece especially, you're going to get all this burnt cheese. And I've cut this into squares. A square pizza should be cut into squares. You got that, Chicago? And a round pizza should be cut into triangles. All right. Some of the toppings have come off as I was cutting it with the pizza wheel. But let's see, it's still very, very hot. The pan crust is quite thick. See if you can see how thick that pizza is. This is going to be a filling pizza. Even have cheese underneath that dripped underneath the crust. That looks like a spot you'd want to eat around. That's probably the best tasting spot of the whole pizza if you're not familiar with this style of pizza. Don't avoid that. That's the best part. Okay, let's see if we're playing ball here. Well, I've said this with other pizzas, and I'm going to say it with this one. It's not that it's a bad pizza. It's almost like a garlic bread. There's so much bread compared to everything else. Listen, I want to give you a little secret about pizza in general that I figured out a long time ago. Where the pizza's made, if it's New York, if it's Chicago, if it's Michigan, if it's Italy, Connecticut, the secret and why you can't recreate that at home is you're not using the same water. And the water is going to be in the cheese, the water is going to be in the dough. And you could take all the ingredients, go to your local store and buy it, and end up with something that doesn't taste the same when you did everything right because you're not using the same water. I think that's part of the problem. The second part of the problem is there's way too much bread on this. A pan pizza should be about, at the most, 3/4 of the thickness that this is with bread. The other thing about a Michigan pizza is traditionally the pizza sauce is tangy. It's got a little bit of a, I don't want to say a bite to it, but it's not sweet and sugary and candy like this one is. The pepperonis are good, the cheese is good. But if you served me this in Detroit, I would say this isn't right. I don't know, but I'm just trying to make sense of this. Why would you try to entertain this idea so half-heartedly? It's like they didn't really put their heart into it. And it kind of bothers me. How would I rate this? Well, I'll tell you what. Let me put it to you this way. This pizza would absolutely be a 10 if I didn't know what a Detroit pizza was supposed to taste like. It's good. It's a great value. Cooking instructions are dead on. The toppings are all there. It's a lot of food for the money. It's £1.50 of food for $8. But I've had real Detroit pizza many, many times, and it's not this. If Trader Joe's would have said, this is a pan-style, Detroit-inspired pizza, or just pan-style pizza, and leave Detroit's name off of it, then my attitude would be slightly more flexible, because now you're not claiming to follow somebody else's standards. Now you're saying, okay, this is a pan pizza, right? Of which there aren't really much standards other than the crust being cooked in a pan, the pizza being cooked in a pan. The minute you call it Detroit style, you're calling out a standard, customary type of a sauce, the type of the pan, the type of bread, how much bread. You should be emulating that, not reinterpreting it. So I feel it's a little bit of false advertising that only people from Michigan would really know. Anybody else would say, oh, it's a great, I've had Detroit pizza before. I got it at Trader Joe's. It's great. Okay, that's, okay, it could be great, but that's not Detroit pizza. It looks very similar, but the taste is very different. Way too much bread. Sauce is way too sweet. Also, on a Detroit style pizza, there's usually some sauce that's just kind of vertically placed over the top, not covering the entire top like a Chicago deep dish. So with that, how do I score this? Would I get this again? I probably wouldn't, because I just don't want that much bread. Taste-wise, it's good. It's quite good. In value for the money, it's a great value. The cooking instructions were accurate. I just don't know how to score this. On a scale of 0 to 10, I feel like what we got here is a 7. So it's better than average, but we've definitely had better. I hope that this inspires you to try some things that look good. I'm sure our tastes and values are different. So maybe what I think is a 7, you think is a 10 or a 2. You know what? Let me know in the comments below. And if there's one you'd like us to see us review, some frozen pizza, pizza rolls, French bread pizzas, calzones, strombolis, let me know in the comments. And if we can get it locally here, we'll absolutely love to dig into it and give it a shot. With that said, thank you for watching. We hope to catch you on the next one. And until then, bye for now.